So hello there everybody. Here we are on Anything Goes. And well, we like Pokemon here at Anything Goes. And well, you see, we might like Pokemon a little too much, as you may see here. In fact, so basically what we're going to do here, we're just going to go through some memories of all these Pokemon I've caught over the years and gotten into home, and we're just going to, go through it all and realize how crazy I am with how many of are caught, basically. Yeah. You get the idea. So, I have never completed the national... Well, I did in Gen 6. So, everything up to Gen 6 we have the National Pokedex for. However, after that I have not bothered to finish that for some reason. I don't know. Despite the alarming number of Pokemon you'll see here. Yeah, so, let's just get into this. Let's go through them one by one. Hopefully let us scroll through all of them like this. So, actually, that will take too long. Let's just go through this list, and if there's someone interesting, we'll click on them. So, yeah. So, as you can see, I got plenty of Kanto starters from over the years, doing various things. Like, they're from various places. Like, I think this, for example, this one, that was the one I got. That was one I got from Sycamore in Kalos. At some point, I guess I never trained him for some reason. And all these are from, this one's from my Leaf Green playthrough. I can tell from the Finny Y. I don't know why I named it that, but that's okay. We got Mistake. Owner for the Ivysaur. This is when I was doing a playthrough. And I don't remember why I called her that. I must have made some mistake with doing it, because obviously I wouldn't name her Mistake otherwise, but... Not getting off to a great start with the whole story thing. But that's okay, because we got one right here. So on Wonder Trade, in Sword and Shield, you may notice this yourself. Sometimes you get Hax Pokemon very often. In fact, very, very often, which you can see here. This is obviously... I mean, I could have done this. I could take credit for it. Somehow getting a 6IV shiny Pokerus level 100 Venus. I guess the level 100 part is not too bad in terms of impressiveness. But I guess, it's in a heavy ball though. So that's a little interesting. Which means it was caught during that one promotion I think they had, right? Which, theoretically it was caught then. And somehow it had 6 IVs, and somehow it was shiny, and somehow it had Pokerus. And obviously it's hacked though. If you look at that OT, it's some weird website that I'm sure they want you to go to, which I will never do because I'm sure it will hack me and all of my life savings. But that's okay. Anyway, yeah, so obviously Charmander is the most prevalent out of these starters due to its presence in Sword and Shield, which I have a couple Gigantamax ones like spoiled here, because that's what it is. It's a fan favorite. It's teacher's pet basically. But oh well, it's a cool Pokemon. It's just very, 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 very overrated. And there are some missing here. Like the starter you get from opening Pokemon Home, I chose Squirtle, called it Home, and it's not here right now. It's in one of my Sword and Shield playthroughs, and I'm using him in the game. He's still a Squirtle, so we're just starting out in that playthrough. But it's fun. And as you can see, for some reason I often like to pretend like I'm gonna do a living dex in any given game, and most games have Caterpie in it. So, and they're early on, and so there's a lot of Caterpies and Butterfrees and all that stuff, because I start the game over, I'm like, I'm gonna do a living dex, and then I forget about it a little bit, and I come back to it, I'm like, I want to do it again. I'm not gonna start from here, so I transfer them all up because I have a hoarding problem with Pokemon. And well, here they are. So, lovely. Same thing with the Metapod, same thing with Butterfree, and of course, as you can see here, we actually have another one from the same guy in the Wonder Trade, or Surprise Trade, I guess it's called now. And another shiny Butterfree. Probably not legitimate, I really doubt it. But hey, it got through stuff, and I didn't ask for it, so I'm not in trouble. But so yeah, and then I guess this isn't all too interesting. I guess we'll just go through the more interesting ones. We have another from the same guy. Here, he's got like a robot doing that or something, I guess. But here we have the special Pikachus with the hats on them. I don't I don't remember which one. I know I picked one of them, and then when I bought a used copy of Sun, they had the other one. And to be honest, I don't remember which one of these is the one I picked. I probably would have chose the Sinnoh one, which I think is this one. I think. Watch me be wrong, and neither of these are Sinnoh, and I chose this one. I mean, it's possible. Hopefully not, but it's possible. For the longest time, I don't know why, it was until I got that used copy, I didn't have the Alolan forms of Sandslash and Vulpix. For some reason, I have Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I'm just that kind of person. But for some reason, I just never went out of my way to capture these Alolan forms. I don't think they're that rare, even. But, oh well, I mean, I guess you can tell I stopped the National Dex Incentive at Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, but yeah. Although, as you'll see later, I'm still technically missing some from Gen 6, which is annoying, but we'll get to that. Yeah, and I remember I have a lot of Meows because when Sword and Shield came out, and the fact that you could have multiple save files on each individual copy, because all you needed was one copy to have a bunch of save files, I made sure to get plenty of Gigantamax Meowth because it was an event. And I was thinking I didn't want to use it in my playthrough then, but it was like, what if I want to one day? And I think there's still some on those save files because some of these are from the Wild Area event recently. That's why they're high level. Like this one, I can never use this one in a playthrough, which is unfortunate. But I could use this one or these. Hopefully, you can tell what I'm talking about. But yeah. So yeah, and then that's why there's so many Meowths that will never evolve, and there'll always be a Meowth that can become a very long, fancy boy, which is lovely, I guess, in its own way of speaking, you know. Anyways, I did the same thing with the because you see, you can't breed to get the Galarian or the Gigantamax Meowth. They are only these specific ones can Gigantamax. You can't breed a Gigantamax Pokemon. And I guess for a little bit I started doing the same thing with these Galarian Slowpokes, and then I realized, oh, you can just breed them. So I stopped very quickly. But, you know, fun facts. So, yeah. And, you know, I remember, I don't know if is there a, let's see. I don't, this doesn't have to do with any of the Pokemon itself, but I think there's one, yeah, Misty. Because I don't know if you know that one Pokemon song the Starbomb did. It's my favorite, one of my favorite lines. Like they talk about Misty having a nightmare, but they bring up the pun. It's like a whole song is a Pokemon pun song, which I love. I even used to do like poetry with Pokemon puns. That was a fun time. It's like again and again, Gar, she'll have ghastly screams that haunt her dreams. You get it because Ghastly and Haunter and Gengar, and you know, that's fun. You know, I'm realizing, and maybe it's a good thing, the more I look at these, the more I realize I don't have as much of a connection to all these as I thought I did. Which is kind of a problem, because the reason I hoard all these is like the idea like, I'm gonna want these one day. I'm gonna want to look back, for example, this is one I remember, Adachi. This is Kangaskhan. I never really got into competitive Pokemon, but when when X and Y came out, there was like a group kind of club place, and we'd play Pokemon like every week there, and we kind of broke off the year following, unfortunately. But I remember in my attempt to be better at Pokemon, I just looked up the most broken ones, and you know, found Kangaskhan, and here we are with Earthquake, Sucker Punch, Outrage, and Power Punch. And understand this was a Mega Kangaskhan. It's not anymore because, you know, you don't have Megas anymore, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so there you go. That's one I can remember. But I'm realizing many of these, I mean, even when they have nicknames, like, what on earth is this? I don't know. How am I supposed to remember what that is? I don't remember what a lot of these mean. I know this one was because I needed to trade up 6 Pokemon from my Sinnoh playthrough at the end to get all of them in, so it was like, oh hey, it's extra. But I think there's a Golem or a Graveler or something. Yeah, extra right there. Oh no, the extra. That's because of the freaking newspaper guy in Platinum. Okay, so maybe there are more. Maybe if I really tried, I could actually look at all these and realize the stories. Which maybe I'll do that on a smaller scale eventually. But for now, we're just kind of going through them, checking it out, and seeing, you know, memories, right? Like I got these Magikarp, shiny Magikarp. That was a fun time. As you can tell, I have a hoarding problem because, see, when the Magikarp event happened in Sword and Shield, where you had a 5% chance to get a Magikarp, I went all out, caught every single one, got 3 shinies out of the process, and well, that's how it happened. And for some reason, I was like, you know, I'm gonna keep these Magikarp because even though most of them don't even have nicknames, surely they mean something. Like, look at how many of these are from Ultra Rem, which is the one that I got the shinies from. It's absolutely ridiculous. Also, yeah, this is an interesting story. Well, not really, but sort of. This is from I somehow, I think it was either X or Y or Black and White 2. I somehow found a trade partner. Yeah, it's probably X and Y because they had the little trade system where people could ask. I found a trade partner. He was asking for legendaries, and I had extras of the mythicals from Gen 5 because that's a story for another day. Well, not really. I would cheat. I would bring 2 games to GameStop. One that was like only for getting mythicals, and the other was my main one. I would get the mythical on the not playing one, and then get up to the point in the game where I could trade it over, reset, get the mythical again, and I would just get a bunch of mythicals for Gen 5 from GameStop. Unfortunately, they've wised up, and I can't do that trick anymore. That was a fun time when I could do that. And he gave me a bunch of shinies for like the mythicals, which at the time I thought he was just being really nice. But of course, I'm sure these are all hacked shinies, and he was just trying, you know, to get legitimate mythicals from me. Which, you know, I guess that's smart. But, oh well. This is, of course, the Lake of Rage Gyarados. I think this is my original, because it's in all caps. This must have been, like, one of my original Lake of Rage. Like, one of my original Heart Gold, like, playthroughs from, like, when I was, like, a really young kid. So that's fun. Oh, this Eevee. This is technically a legitimate shiny. Technically. But I got it from like the raid event that happened. So it's a Gigantamax shiny. But I'm pretty sure now that I know what I know, apparently because it was from someone else's raid battle, and apparently like people do that and they found a way to like get shinies to always appear with some really complicated map, and I'm pretty sure it was one of those, considering it was a raid battle and it was my second attempt at it. But hey, maybe, who knows, maybe I just got really lucky, you know? And yeah, so there's a lot of stories here. And we might want to split this up by generation, I'm thinking. In fact, I think I'll do that. So let's keep going with Gen 1. And let's just focus on there. In fact, let's just focus on Gen 1 completely. There we go. Brilliant. Alright, so we were down here, and 2 things. First of all, that's a great nickname. Second of all, you see this shiny Mew, which I don't even think is legal. I mean, at least not in English, right? Because the only time you could catch a Mew, especially in Hoenn, that was when they had the island thing, right? You go to an island, you can catch it, but that was only in Japanese. I'm pretty sure that event never came to America, or anywhere else for that matter. So the fact that this is English and shiny, because although the distributions are always shiny locked, I thought. Anyway, the reason I have this is from a little experiment where I was seeing if I could get away, because basically I didn't have a link cable at the time from GameCube to Game Boy Advance, but I did have an R4, and I wanted to transfer my Pokemon from Coliseum and XD Galactus on the GameCube. And the way to do that, of course, was to just hack them into like the R4 and the DS, trade them over, and then bada bing bada boom, that was easier. And as a test, I sent a couple shinies, such as this Mew and this Articuno, which I'm surprised they even let through, and I'm surprised I tested it with them, considering, you know, considering that they're shinies and that, you know, they're the least likely to go through. But hey, here we go. If I can't use most of them in Sword and Shield, which is a topic we can get into later, but yeah, that's why they're here. And this Dragonite, this is another one of those that I got from the same guy that I gave the Mythicals to, you know, which I was really excited. This is the only Dragonite I've ever had. Interestingly enough, I got close with this Dragonair, but so close, no cigar. I apparently just gave up at level 52. Almost had a Dragonite, bit the Dragonite, and maybe one day I'll finally give him his glory of being a Dragonite, but not yet, because he's not allowed in Sword and Shield. Anyway. Also, fun fact, I've never caught a Mewtwo. Because as you can see, these three are from Cherish Balls, and this one is from a used copy I got. So I've never officially caught a Mewtwo, which is weird, I guess. But maybe that'll change one day. I guess I just never get that far in the Kanto games for some reason, which is usually where he's found. So, that's weird, but oh well. Also, of course, I have a bunch of Snorlaxes, mostly because of the Gigantamax situation again. I mean, I'm realizing a lot of these aren't Gigantamax, but that's okay. Also, something weird, like, I know, like, it's because I wish they would let you encounter lower level Pokemon and Gigantamax stuff, because, like, I can't use these in a new playthrough, right? I mean, I know if I was playing a new playthrough at the time, I could get these at a lower level, but I don't see why those have to be restricted like that, you know? But, oh well. So since we're just focusing on Kanto, let's wrap things up with a couple more stories about some of these guys, since we can remember some of them. Like, okay, I don't know why this is called that, but Billness. That was I remember that was from my Sword playthrough, first Sword playthrough, I think. Let's see, does it tell me, or is it just gonna tell me generic Galar? Yeah, it's just Galar. This is from I think it was from my first Sword playthrough. It might have been my first Shield playthrough. But, you know, it's got a special place because of that. It was a fun Pokemon. But, you know, you know, it's got that explosion, which in story mode is always fun to go boom with. Yeah. Let's see. I remember I would always name the Tyrogues something to do with, like, who knows, or mystery. Like, I don't know what it's going to evolve into, because or like, I just wouldn't care. And interestingly, it seems like they all evolved into Hitmonchan, not Hitmonlee, because they don't have those nicknames specifically, which is interesting. But, you know. I remember when Alolan Executor came out, that was like, for some reason, I loved that guy. I never used him, though, because he came too late in the adventure. Like, by the time you got him, the game was almost over. And I think you have to evolve him in the area. You may be able to use a Leaf Stone like the regular Executor. I might have to look into that. So, yeah, we'll see. Mr. Carbs, the best crab. Alright, this is just... Okay, that's not my nickname, thank you. Oh, I got a used copy of one of the Gen 3 games. They had such literal nicknames for people like Pokeball. Like, anyone that has the name Jevin, like... Okay, not all of them, but a lot of them had nicknames that were just kind of interesting, and everyone's making me look like a liar. Okay, hey, look, another one. A Gengar. Another reference to the song, because I love that song. Let's see. It's hard to, especially hard to know, you know, if they don't have a nickname, I really don't know where they came from. I know this one, Do Your Best. Is there a Do Your Worst too? Yeah, there is a Do Your Worst. Okay. So, but there was a old Let's Play I used to watch a lot of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. He used the Dugong in it. He'd call it Do Your Worst because he purposely got a really bad one in order to make it easier to catch shadow Pokemon with, which was really smart. And so Do Your Worst was born. And then Do Your Best came later. I mean, he's not that particular. He's not really good, I don't think. I don't think he's any better than... Yeah, he's not... He's not really that best. In fact, I mean, my Do Your Worst might even be better than that. Okay, maybe not, but it's just interesting, I guess. This is another one from one of my original Heart Golds. Oh, never mind. It's from one of my original Black and Whites then. Okay, way to make me look like a liar. Yeah, and I never used him. I just caught him, but for some reason this nickname haunts me like with iconicness. I don't know how to explain it really, but and of course Doug. Who could forget Doug? I could, because I don't remember why he's here. Low Roller, that name's a reference, like there's a Mega Slowbro card, like Pokemon card, and one of his attacks is Low Roller or something. It's interesting. That might be it here, though. That might be it. Sayai Duck. I think I just want to end it with this. I think this is the end. We just ended on Sayai Duck. Because who could be better than Sayai Duck? Alright, well thank you for watching. This has been Kanto part of my problem with Pokemon. And my hoarding problem specifically. On Anything Goes. Because anything does go. It's just life. Don't worry too much about it. See ya!